And of course, from Julius's report, Atty, of course, we have with us in the studio a man who needs no introduction. Attorney Ted Laguatan is an immigration lawyer known to many Filipinos. Obviously, he has been fighting for the rights of Filipinos in the United States over the many years. Good morning and welcome to PTV's continuing coverage, Attorney. How are you this morning? Are you excited about what's happening, what you're seeing?
President Obama's visit here was quite meaningful. Hopefully, it results in good policies for both the nation.
When you think about, of course, the 4 million Filipino Americans, the legal ones in the States, of course, there's another problem that group and the group of Attorney Lloyd Lewis is also working on closely, and this is the TPP,
temporary protected status. What it is this is part of U.S. law, wherein the U.S. executive branch can designate a country as a temporary protected status country because of calamities, because of earthquakes, wars. It's a humanitarian law. With an order from the president or executive branch, a country can be designated as a TPS country.
TPS.
With that, the citizens of that country in the U.S. will be allowed to stay, to work, to travel internationally. So this will benefit a lot of Filipinos there.
And Americans as well. Because let's just face it, a lot of the jobs that these people do, you go into the garment district in Los Angeles, you go behind and back office, probably running most of those stores, accounting and whatever, are Filipinos. And many of them, unfortunately, are undocumented.
Yes.
And these are people, some of them are from the same places where the disaster hit recently, like Tacloban, like Bohol, with the earthquake, Zamboanga, where there was fighting. So this is what you're moving for, the TPS.
The theory is that by allowing Filipinos there to stay, whether they're legally or illegally, allowing them to work, to travel. Yes, the U.S. will benefit, as well as the Philippines, because their remittances will increase. It will increase the economy of the Philippines, and it also makes for good relationships, humanitarian relationships.
The palace released the figure 7.8 billion issues. $7.8 billion worth of trade. Second largest export market is the U.S. So there is a strong economic basis for trade between the two countries. Obviously, the outsourced sector. Ayo Haji, you were asking a while ago about the student programs. How Filipino students can benefit from this increased presence.
Well, if they're there on student visas, they can stay and work and travel internationally. Even those who became illegal, because a lot of students became illegal, they overstayed. They decided to stay there instead of coming back to the Philippines because of economic and other reasons, So the students will be benefited very much. And practically every Filipino there who wants to stay, even those visitors, even businessmen who want to stay, will be benefited by TPS.
And this is in a formal letter that you presented to the president,
right?
Our president.
Yes, President Aquino requested for this. We were hoping that President Obama would talk about this yesterday, but he hasn't said.
Well, he might be watching us right now, so maybe we'd like to appeal to him.
Well, hopefully President Obama is watching right now to approve the TPS. This will benefit the Filipinos as well as the United States, It's a humanitarian action.
I'm just curious, are there specific requirements for the TPS?
Well, the basis is calamity has happened in the nation, which is going to be designated, or an earthquake. In our case, a super typhoon. This qualifies.
Actually, we've had three. We had the fighting in Zamboanga, we had the massive earthquake in Bohol in the central Visayas. And then we had Yolanda, which swept the entire region from the Visayas to Palawan.
Absolutely.
So it's a triple whammy, as they say. But going into other things, this visit offers opportunities to the Philippines in other ways for more travel and trade. The President of the United States mentioned increased educational programs and other things. How does this help in the relationship when you have more people from here going to study there, whether on Fulbright or other programs?
Well, I believe it is the interest of the whole human race for people from different parts of the world to benefit, to become better human beings, more qualified, their potentials really be fulfilled. It benefits the whole world, Filipinos and other countries, when other human beings are fulfilled, you know.
And also in understanding. There's a lot more. It's easier to understand someone you've met.
Oh, yes,
So the educational patterns. We see the protests yesterday. How does it gab you as a Filipino American? You see people who are critical of this visit, but that's every day at the White House. I mean, if somebody's protesting about something there.
Yes. It depends on the outlook of the individual. There's a lot of people who, well, you see the demonstrations here and all that, but they're a minority, you know. Or
just like in the States, it's the same thing.
Absolutely. But on the whole, there's a lot of support for this enhanced defense cooperation agreement, you know, especially in the light of China infringing on Philippine territory, you know.
Bilang isang Palawenyo, doon ako lumaki sa Puerto Princesa, so nakikita ko yun eh.
What are your thoughts on the EDCA or the enhanced defense cooperation
definitely it's
agreement?
good because a nation like the Philippines, which is so small, cannot face up to China. Now everybody wants China to have a better life for Chinese people. You know, the point is that what we want China to know is that it can be a great country without having to act like a mafia group, resort to intimidation and coercion. You know, we can all live in the same world and share the good things of life.
You know, what's ironic is China has 73% rural poverty. Their rural cities are worse off than many parts of the Philippines, which is the irony when you look at it. And yet, they're spending so much on their arms and defense programs and build-ups at the same time. So it's kind of sad to see that they're not even taking care of their own problems and they're going into other problems in other areas. Some people say this is a wag the dog technique, that they have problems at home, so they're going after problems in other countries. Do you see it also that way in a way? Because of their own domestic problems?
It could be they're trying to distract their own local population, but right now China is, to a certain extent, influenced so much by its military leaders who think in very small ways. Like I said, they can be a great nation without having to step on the rights of other people, you know.
Well, President Xi was the ambassador here for a while. You know, he was assigned here in the Philippines. It's a shame that happens, of course, but we're obviously talking about a different president and a different visit here. And of course, you know, even President Obama and President Aquino have both stated that none of what is happening here is because of China. The primary thing that is happening here is because of Philippine needs for security, for cooperation. Haji?
Yeah.
But a lot of people are asking, should the United States interfere with the dispute between China and the Philippines?
Well, the world has become so globalized, you know, and America is a superpower. You can't say interfere, you know. Maybe influence nations to behave in a more civilized way so that the relationship with the nation can be smoother for the benefit of all. You know.
So we can end this dispute by peace talks or talks in a peaceful way.
Oh, yes, definitely. Diplomacy is always very important, and be rational at all times, you know.
Diplomacy is important, obviously, you know, any interaction. As a political scientist is my background, so when you look at it, when you study it, it's basically always a common need.
Yes.
And in this case, for many Filipinos who go to the States, it's the economy, it's the reason they travel to the United States of America, it's the reason they travel to different parts of the world. It's the reason there's 11 million Filipinos all over the world working. And when you look at that and analyze it as an immigration lawyer, what has improved in the relationship under President Obama when it comes to visas, when it comes to family reunions and whatever? How has things, from your perspective, under this Obama administration?
I believe that President Obama is a good man, trying to do a lot of good things for people who have less in life. This is his attraction. His commitment is to people.
Not for immigration, specifically.
For immigration, He's trying to have the Immigration Reform Act passed, which, among other things, will enable thousands of people to legalize their stay in the U.S.
There's 11 million right now, something like 12 million
It's
illegal somewhere
hard
in there.
to... Well, the estimates are anything from 12 million to 20 million.
Okay.
Because the people just pass through the borders. It's kind of hard to monitor the number, you know. But this is a good measure. Unfortunately, we have a Republican, strong-minded group in the lower house who refuses to listen to immigration reform for political reasons, you know. But Obama himself wants this immigration reform to proceed.
Okay. And
Hopefully.
Hutch, yeah, we hope we'll see
Very
that.
hopeful,
Not only a lot of Filipinos are very hopeful, because basically, what is it? 1 in 6 or 1 in 5 Filipinos, by some estimates, can legally go to the U.S. on petitions and whatever. That's the rough estimate that's been made over the years. Somewhere like 1 in 6, 1 in 5.
Well, we're now second only to the Mexicans in terms of immigrants coming to the U.S. And Filipinos have really contributed a lot. Our medical people, doctors, nurses, engineers, and other professionals have really helped create a better life.
And even here, from our own economy here in the Philippines, through the BPO sector, Filipinos are imparting into the American economy. And of course, Attorney, 15 seconds, quick wrap up. Do you have anything you'd like to say just as we this interview to an end?
Yes. Well, we hope that President Obama approves the temporary protected status for Filipinos. You know, this will help both countries. It's a humanitarian gesture. It'll help people in the Philippines who are affected by the typhoon, and it'll give a better image to America as a great humanitarian nation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you
Attorney
so much.
Ted
Thank you
Laguatan.
very much.